guys, it's Erica. I'm actually coming to you from my work, taking a little break to get this video in. So I had my surgery May 2nd, 2008. This would be week, I think, 7. I had my surgery at Sharp Memorial Hospital in San Diego, California, and my surgeon was Dr. Luedke. I believe the last time I came to you guys, I don't remember my weight, so I'll have to put it down below. I did weigh this morning, and I am weighed in at 252.4, and I'll also put the totals down below as well, because I'm not sure how much I've lost since surgery. I did start surgery at 281, I believe. Again, check below. I have a bad memory. Heading into, or rather, I think Wednesday would officially be the mark for week 7, but we're just counting this as week 7. I wanted to touch on some things that I've experienced this past week, dumping. So one instance that I had was, I believe it was last week, so it would have been a week 6. I had a sugar-free pudding with some whipped cream on top, which is all in my plan. And normally when I want that, I will have half of it and give it to my husband. This go around, he didn't want it, and instead of throwing it away, my head, fat head, I decided to eat it. And literally not 5 minutes after finishing, it was moments. I had a fast heart rate. I felt very sick, dizzy, lightheaded. My stomach felt ill. I just didn't feel good. And then I'd say after about 20 minutes, I ran to the bathroom because I felt like I had to go. Which I haven't felt that feeling in a very long time because I've been so constipated, as you all know. So I ran to the bathroom. Nothing happened. My stomach was making a lot of noise. I felt nauseous. I gave it a couple minutes and decided to get off the toilet and go back to the couch. At that point, I laid down. I even remarked to my husband that it felt very reminiscent of prior to surgery, going out to eat and just stuffing myself full and getting super sick. Like, I would eat so much that I would have to run to the bathroom. But nothing like that was happening. I didn't go to the bathroom. I said that, and then 20 seconds after that, it had to have been 20 seconds because it was not a minute. It was within a minute. I ran to the bathroom and experienced severe dumping. Severe. Like, explosive. It was horrible. And it came in waves, so I'd say 3 or 4 waves, if you know what I mean. After I felt like I had been finished, I decided that I would go lay on the couch, and I did not get my water in. I could not eat. I could not drink. I was so sick for the whole rest of the evening that the next day I felt dehydrated. I woke up and I drank some water immediately, and I did that in the middle of the night. I don't normally wake up in the middle of the night to drink water, and I know by doing that I was dehydrated. So yeah, that was my first experience with dumping, and it was horrible. And then this week, I had an experience that terrified me. It scared me because it wasn't dumping and I wasn't sure what it was. I think it was 2 days ago, I was eating dinner and I was not paying attention, and I was talking on the phone to my best friend about issues that we're experiencing at work. Excuse me. And I was so invested in the conversation and not in my plate and concentrating on chewing my food. Old habits die hard. I think I chewed a little bit, but not enough. And my body did not like that. I finished my food and I thought to myself, you ate that without chewing very good. It entered my head, and then I just went about I went over to my husband and I hugged him and I was like, oh, I'm so full. I can feel it like way up here underneath my sternum. My stomach was, even when he hugged me, like the pressure from his body, like really, it hurt. And I remember like kind of pushing him back because his body, yes, mine hurt. So like the touch, just touching my stomach hurt. And that just progressed. I made a post asking people on a certain Facebook group that I belong to, and everyone was saying that it was gallbladder issues, and I didn't feel that was it, but it entered my head and I got very scared. This went on I let it go on for about, I think it was 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. I found a position that worked and it really helped alleviate the pain. I was on all fours, which helped push gas. So I was passing gas a lot, from the front and the back. That really helped, but any other position caused me severe pain. Sitting, standing, walking, laying down was so bad. After about the 2 hour mark, I decided to call my, there's a number that you can call through my hospital that will put you in touch with a nurse. And then if the nurse doesn't know, then they'll put you in touch with the on-call surgeon. Luckily, the on-call surgeon was actually my surgeon. And I explained to him what was happening, and he definitely said that it was because I didn't chew well enough. And he was right. I went to bed that night. Laying down is horrible, but I did find a position on my left side. My leg that I was laying on straight out, and then the leg that was on top had to be bent. And then I kind of propped my stomach with a pillow. That helped, and I was able to sleep. I woke up the next morning and I was fine. But back to that, I would literally choose dumping over the stuck food. That was literally the most painful thing. I would rather go through surgery again than do the the issue that I had when I didn't chew my food correctly. It was very painful, and I do not want to go through that again. It was horrible. Yeah, if you've ever experienced that, let me know, because I'm curious to know if anybody else has had the same kind of symptoms. I was like sweating and my heart was racing. The pain was terrible. It was bad, like bad. And there was no way for it to go away other than just letting it pass. At least with dumping, you poop or you throw up and then you're tired and you're lethargic, but it's pretty much done. But yeah, so NSVs this week, I'm still tripping on my collarbones. They're coming through more and more. I find myself just like sitting here, like zoning out and just touching them. Let's see, NSVs. Getting up is a lot easier if I'm on the floor. I find myself mentally preparing to right myself up the way that I used to. So kind of spinning onto my knees and then struggling to push myself up. I don't need to do that now. I just kind of brace my arms and push up. I don't need to curl and do twist and contort and everything. So that's been really nice. It's still taking some getting used to, but it's been good. Another NSV. I went on a hike by myself on Friday. Granted, I didn't finish the hike that I used to do. I could not finish it. I was shaky and I needed this, like, it was hot, but, excuse me. The normal hike is about 4 miles round trip. Usually takes me about an hour and a half. I did half of it, and it took me an hour and 8 minutes, I believe, round trip. So I wasn't too thrilled with that time, but I know it's going to take some time. I'm still recovering. My legs are still a little, because I haven't been working out. Everything's still coming up and like trying to get back to what it was. And it's going to be slow going, and I'm a very impatient person. Yeah. So I have been at my current job for 6 years, well over 6 years. I had an amazing boss for almost 6 of it. Yeah, almost 6, about 5 and a little more than 5.5 years. Amazing boss. I love her to death. And then some switches happened, and we have a new boss, and she's very hard to deal with. And I've tried, for the last 8 months to put up with it, and I decided I couldn't do it anymore. And with the support of my amazing husband, I decided to put my 2 weeks in. Now, I work for a hospital, so my insurance is amazing. Amazing. And I didn't take that into consideration when I put my 2 weeks notice in. Your insurance ends the month that you quit, so my 2 weeks ends on the 28th, which means my insurance is done on the 30th of this month. And I have my 2-month post-op appointment at the end of July. So that appointment's not going to be covered. And I have a lot of fears because it's a requirement, especially within the first year, to attend specific time frame appointments, checkups with the surgeon. And out of pocket, I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford that without my amazing coverage. I'm hoping, I spoke to HR, and I'm hoping that they will try to push it into the first week of July. That way my insurance will cover through the end of July, even into, the end of July, which will cover the second month appointment. I did tell my surgeon about it, and he said, well, then we need to get something done for you. But yeah, this is my fear, and it's the one thing that's kind of keeping me up at night. I have a lot of pressure off my shoulders, and I feel good about my choice, but this is the one thing that has me a little unsteady and unsure about. But other than that, I don't really have much else. If you have any suggestions for me regarding anything I talked about today, I'd really appreciate it. Maybe some suggestions about insurance coverage, or anything like that. I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, I've got to go because it's been more than 15 minutes.